I don't even know what to do. Are you going to interview me?
Well, you're going to start it, so we're going to go from there.
Super nervous.
Figure out, me too.
Hey, everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. I was going to say the not bad word, but it was the clean word, but it sounds too much like the bad word. We got to keep this clean for the censors. We're going to talk. David is a subscriber and part of the master course, a real estate course. If you want, there's a link down below. I don't know if it's ended by now or not. It depends on how many people sign up, but you can go check that out. You just sold a business, and you have come in. You've been building from business to business to business. I won't share numbers, but you've got yourself quite a nest egg.
Yeah. Well, fair. Yeah.
And you're asking me a ton of questions.
Start from nothing. Yeah. So at that point, worked my way through a handful of businesses and just recently sold one. And I think we were talking earlier about asset allocation.
Yeah, because they've already seen by now. They've probably already seen the video of you and me on the ski slope. So all day long, you were asking me questions after we filmed that.
Sure.
We thought we'd do this.
So you come into a certain amount of money, and there's always asset allocation, legs of a stool, whatever you want to call it. And I remember I was asking you about how would you split it? Let's say 4, 5, 6 ways.
Yeah.
Right?
So one of the things I brought up was I asked you what kind of investments you had, right? We don't want to talk numbers, but let's just talk types. You've obviously got cash.
Cash.
You've got precious metals.
Yep.
You got some crypto.
Yep.
All right.
Real estate.
You have real estate, yes. And actually, you have some really interesting real estate. You're holding on, you're dealing with a triple net lease. So someone's renting your land from you.
Yeah.
You're
sold the
carrying
business, kept the land, triple net lease, carry,
Which
absolutely.
I love. Remember, I want you to become your own bank, and a bunch of YouTubers think that's really cool. Be your own bank, buy Bitcoin. That's actually not what a bank does. Banks don't sit on money. Banks take money and loan it out, okay? So he has set up a really neat deal where you sold the business. You want this to be a successful business because this is your tenant now, right? Not because they're paying you on your property, and you're able to get, they pay the taxes, all that stuff, insurance. You're getting front-loaded compounded interest through a mortgage. That is incredible. That also carries a different tax burden as well. It's a less tax burden.
Yep, absolutely.
So one of the things we were talking about was when he's like, hey, where'd you put this money? I said, well, I'd have to know numbers. Now, we're going to talk about private numbers or anything like that. But how full of are your baskets? You're still, let's say you've got 5 different baskets. We already talked about precious metals, real estate, crypto, and cash. So there's 4 baskets right there. They should be pretty darn equal, right? We talked about your debt. It's pretty darn non-existent.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's done very well for himself. Yeah, still, as a restaurateur, on the weekends would go, has a welding side gig. Right?
No, my welding was my first side gig. I'm a welding contractor first.
That's right. And then you became a restaurateur.
Then a restaurateur.
You built a very successful restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean, you made killer money. And then you sold it, built it up and sold it. And you told me something interesting. He said it was a 5-year plan. He knew how long he wanted to be in something because we're a lot alike. We're, within a year age gap. Yeah. We started selling candy at school kind of thing, newspaper, car wash.
Serial entrepreneurs.
Yeah. And you should never be comfortable. You should never be in the same thing for very long, right? And so what's funny is one of the 5th basket, we brought up 4, right? The 5th one is he said he wants to do tax liens and deeds. And he asked me, how much should I put into tax liens and deeds? And something really interesting came up. I gave him a number based off of his numbers for liens. I said, hold off on deeds for a little bit because we've got some time. We want properties to really bottom. And I want more the less people showing up at auction, but I don't. You guys don't know. Oh yeah, wait, you don't exist. You're not in the camera. Sorry. I'm getting excited. Matt called me today. Oh, you already know.
Yeah, well, I was with you.
No, I'm not gonna tell you. Yeah. Coach Matt from the tax lien course drove almost every single county in Arizona, except for 3 counties, in 3 days. He went to an auction in Park, Arizona. 2 people showed up for the auction. I know. Don't make any sound. It's just us. There's people behind the cameras. I'm not joking. Like, people are like, there's competition. I'm like, Matt's like, yeah. I just can't get over it. But what's crazy is you brought up something really cool. I said, yeah, put this much into tax liens and let's make some amazing interest, right? 18, 36%, whatever, all these fines and all this. It's amazing. But you actually already found another way of getting an amazing interest rate investing in microloans in other countries.
Yep.
And there are companies that are doing this. Now, they're not backed loans, but they're at high interest so that people can start businesses or do things.
Yep.
So there's definitely inherent risk with it.
Yeah.
So when you're dealing with that, you're like, okay, one of my baskets is I want to put money to work and bring in interest, right? Which has a different type of taxation alongside of it. And people need to think about, as you become wealthier, even when you're not wealthy, I want you to think like you're wealthy. If you start thinking like you're wealthy, when you're not, you become wealthy. I know it sounds crazy, but this basket, then you'd take, let's say we were talking about 10,000 bucks, right? And you're gonna put 10,000 liens. He goes, well, I'd like to do this, non-asset backed micro lending to help people. They're at high interest rates. And what are the interest rates?
36%.
36%, which is, in line with credit cards in America, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So out of $10,000, why not put 8,000 towards liens, tax liens around the nation, and 2,000 towards micro lending? See, this is being a bank.
Yes. Yes.
The
Yes.
next
You don't
thing
have
we
to
need to do is,
work for the money to come in.
yeah, and wait until we get into invoice factoring. Like you don't even know. That's how banks actually make more money than anything else, but they keep it secret. It's a very dirty little secret in world banking. But you are now officially a bank. What's interesting is that I believe you're going to be blessed because you're lending, right? That's what God called us to be, lenders and not borrowers.
Absolutely.
But we have to be borrowers at first.
Well, that's leverage, right?
That's right.
It gives you leverage.
Yep. And once you get out of debt in your personal life, you start LLCs and businesses, and you borrow money inside of those, and you manage the borrowed funds, and you use that leverage to make money. So, do you remember any other questions you were asking me?
Wow.
I never get
me on the
anyone
spot
to interview
now.
me.
Put
and
me on the
he's
spot
like
now.
full on asking me all these awesome questions, and this crap's just coming out of my mouth. I'm like, I don't even know where this crap's coming from, right? And I'm like, dang it, why don't you interview me? And so now we're in front of a camera, all professional set.
Yeah,
and all,
right.
And you forget. It's weird. No one interviews the ninja.
Most people think that owning real estate and the tax liens that's not being a bank, right? That is work. There's work involved in that.
Yep.
But there's nothing comes for free, right? Nothing comes without work.
And actually, I'm trying to give everyone the information on a silver platter. It's just if they want to pick it up or not.
Yeah.
And that's I'm going to go buy those 2 tax liens if they haven't sold tomorrow.
Right.
I mean, we literally went to the entire master group, and we said, hey, look, we can't tell you to buy these, but these are pretty sweet. And if they're still for sale tomorrow, and I've let like 5 days go by, I'm buying them, and then we're going to school at the next group meeting. And that's what it is. If you guys want to ask me questions, this is the way we do it. Once a month, everyone asks me questions. Sometimes they're not about real estate. And the reason why they're not is because a lot of people in this master group hold alternative assets like David did. And so they want to know, like, hey, what do you think? Should I sell my silver right now? Well, it depends. How much do you have? Are you going to sell it all? What's the taxation? What are you going to buy with the silver? What's funny is a lot of people think about, okay, I bought something. No, I'm going to sell it. What are you going to do now? I don't know. And it just blows me away. And so that's where you're going to get the best bang for your buck. If you guys want it, the sale link's down below. Once we get, it's like a 3 or 4 day sale. And once we get a certain amount of students, we're cutting it off again. And we won't open this up again for probably a half a year. I appreciate all of you guys. Like, you have opened my eyes because your questions, and you've challenged me coming from, you came into the master group going, yeah, I got real estate, but my real estate's tied to a business, and I'm in the middle of escrow. And you would call me, every once in a while, because we've known each other since I had like 60,000 subs.
Yeah.
He literally flew to
San Antonio.
Yeah, on a whim.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, I'm going to be in San Antonio tomorrow. He flew to San Antonio and walked around the streets until he found me. That was wild. And then we just hung out all day. That day before school.
You don't get nothing unless you take a chance. And number one, do something.
Yeah.
You sit around and you wait, and before you know, 5 years is gone, 10 years is gone. So procrastination is your enemy. And
look at just with crypto. We were talking about that today.
Yeah.
Like, gosh darn,
Like,
dang
dang
of us, why didn't I buy more yesterday? Why didn't I buy more? Sorry, I'm going to go beast mode on you guys. But it's like, life is passing us by so fast.
Yeah.
And 2025 is going to be an incredible year.
Yeah.
Man.
Absolutely.
David, you are a horrible interviewer.
Conversation is the same as interview, right?
Dude, ask me questions. You was asking tons of questions earlier.
Don't put
even
me on the
before
spot.
we hit record. Yeah, it's like, and then just that's what happened. I love it. I love this crowd. I love messing with people. No, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
you
you
for helping me.
Thank you.
We're gonna go and grab dinner next. So Ninja's
Right on.
hungry, and
Let's go.
we're gonna go have some fun. Thank you so much for joining me. If you guys want to ask me questions, join the master group. I guarantee you, after 1 year, I will change the way. If you listen to all those courses, I will absolutely change your paradigm, and we will put you from a poverty mindset to a wealth mindset. I'm not joking. Give me 12 months. The course is priced, I think, very reasonably for what it is. The Economic Ninja is out.